Hey, Brian. Hopefully you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Hey, CB, welcome back. Can y'all hear me this time? If you would just drop me a comment and let me know. Oh, you already are. Oh, good. Oh, so sorry about that. Wow. I've had more problems in the last 2 days than I have in weeks. Four times over the last 48 hours, I have attempted to do a live stream. All four of them completely failed. And I still don't really know exactly why it wasn't going through. It showed me as being live, but it was not getting anywhere. I checked it with my phone, and my son checked it, and he there was no notification of nothing. It was like I was talking to a dark voice. So anyway, glad whatever it got fixed. I'm glad it got fixed. So anyway, how are y'all? It's been a few days. I hope all of you are doing really well. Um, I'm better now that I've got this fixed and am able to talk to y'all because it may be hard to believe, but I thoroughly enjoy speaking to y'all. It's always a pleasure to speak to like-minded individuals about a common topic that we all love. So very good. Mark, how are you? Good to see you too. I really appreciate y'all joining in. I'm sorry that I've been away for a little while. On top of the difficulties that I've had with my equipment, I've been very busy at work. Um, I'm doing multiple jobs, so to speak. So I'm doing my normal job, which is working in quality, but I'm also getting ready to head our ISO certificate initiative. I'm also our safety manager, and I also manage a team of people that populate three different laboratories. So I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I enjoy the opportunities, but it's going to take getting used to. So certainly going to have to get my feet warm and make the best of it. But I've also had some health problems. I've had two. No need to be alarmed. I'm okay, but I have had two small tumors removed recently that were precancerous, and so that was a little scary. Um, Probably wouldn't admit that to too many people, but yeah, it was a little scary getting that news. But it's gone now, so it's past. It's something that I'll have to keep a watch on as I get older and as time passes. But as of right now, everything is fine. So got that little bit of stress off of me. So Brian, CB, Mock, how are y'all's day going? Everybody doing well? Hopefully so. Um, yeah, Mock, I think it will. I'm very optimistic. Um, the good news is I found, or I didn't find nothing, but the good news is the doctor found this very soon. So it was practically, non-existent to begin with. So very soon, and it'd be something I have to monitor over the course of my life. But I think it's going to be fine. Mark, have you watched any of the YouTube videos from Sun and Fun? Um, Been enjoying several of them. There's some really interesting airplanes out there these days, and when I was first getting into aviation as a kid, you had a very simple list of aircraft trainers. Um, you had the Cessna 150 and the 152. You had the Cessna 172, of course. Some people were actually learning in 182s, and occasionally you had someone flying like a Piper Cherokee, whether it be a 140 or 180. And that was your trainers. I actually knew one person that flew a Beechcraft Skipper, which is similar to the Piper Tomahawk. All good trainers. Today, there's so much available, so many light sport aircraft that are just absolutely gorgeous airplanes. And so I I've been watching some of these videos on some of these new airplanes. I'd like to talk to you about one here in a minute. So Mark says he saw some F-18s over the house. Oh, that's cool. British Airways arrived in St. Louis. Oh, that's nice. A400M. Oh, those are cool, aren't they? It's like I don't know. I'm y'all know me well. If you know, I'm I'm very I'm very emotional about the Lockheed C-130. I have a very small but very strong bond with that airplane. But when I see the A400M, sometimes I think, wow, pretty pretty sharp airplane. So pretty cool. Yeah, the F-104. Wasn't that incredible? I've never seen an F-104 fly in person. I would love to see that, and it looks spectacular. That's one of those airplanes that when you see it fly, you almost think, how the wings are so small, they're so thin, and then I guess it comes to angle of incidence and a lot of thrust. Speed itself holds that aircraft off the ground, and I know there was a lot of people that were terrified by that airplane back in the days when it was new and somewhat not really understood. And there were certainly people that died flying that airplane. It had a interesting way of landing. If you got it too slow, it would definitely wobble around, and um, well, it would just be a bad thing. So that's good, CP. I'm glad everything's going well with you. Yeah, when you get comfortable, that's when life throws a punch at you. And I've got so much in my mind about things that I want to do. One, and I hope no one from my employer is watching this. Um, I appreciate my job. I do more than I more than I appreciate my job. I appreciate the people I work with. I work with some fantastic people, truly talented people, uh, just absolute experts in their individual roles. I've also been very blessed to have a team that I lead that is the same. They're just fantastic people. They make my job much easier. Um, the problem I have with my current job is it has nothing to do with aerospace. It has nothing to do with aviation, and I miss that. I miss that greatly. And I'm at that point where if I don't do something now, I'm never going to work in aviation again. I feel like if I'm going to make that move and go back to aviation, I'm going to have to do it very soon. And realistically, I've got less than 15 years left of work time, so to speak, before I'm eligible to retire. So, yes, I do like my job. I appreciate my job, um, but it's not really what I'm passionate about. What I truly love to be doing. So I miss working at the airlines. I miss working at small airports. I've had several jobs in aviation. Some had absolutely very limited time with the aircraft. I spent more time with the pilots dealing with regulatory issues, which again was still fun. It was still enjoyable working in corporate aviation. But after 9/11, my life kind of turned abruptly into a different path, and it led me into the tire business. I managed tire sales for a very well known tire manufacturer. And then I got involved in construction. And actually had a short time selling musical instruments there because for those of you who don't know, I'm also a drummer. Just amateur, of course. I just enjoy playing here and around my house, and I've played in church and stuff like that. But so I sold drums for a little while. But in construction led me all the way up until 3 years ago when I started working for a glove manufacturer making hand protection. And so the good news is I'm close to home, literally like just a few miles. The bad news is it's not something I'm truly passionate about. So I'm really hoping and praying that something will open up um, in aviation or aerospace in general. Um, and it may mean that I need to drive to Chattanooga, and it may mean I need to drive to Huntsville. It may mean I need to go back to school uh, to acquire this, but I don't know. I'm getting depressed with myself because I do not feel like I'm doing what I be doing nor what I'm capable of doing. So anyway, we're gonna get through that. So back to Sun and Fun. I hated that I missed it this year. Sun and Fun, if you've never been, is a week long um, air show similar to Oshkosh, just smaller. I like to call it the baby Oshkosh. It's in Lakeland, Florida. Beautiful area. If you've never flown into Lakeland, you'll understand when you do why they call it Lakeland because there's small lakes everywhere. Um, and so it's a great town. Every time I was out and about in the town, eating and enjoying the city life, everyone was super nice, very polite. I really enjoyed going down there. Um, but it's a great air show. It's put on by the same people, the Experimental Aircraft Association. They have some great venues there. They have a lot of great speakers. They have all sorts of things that here. I'm going to share while I'm talking. I'm going to share a photograph with y'all too, if I can figure out how to do it. Of when I was down there as a kid. Um, but it's a great place to go if you love airplanes. I got to fly in there in a Cessna 177 Cardinal with my dad and a friend of ours. It was his aircraft, and got to fly in there, and we pitched tents under the wing and slept under the wing of the airplane. It was It was just fantastic. But the whole week I was down there, though, I was involved in the EAA Air Academy, which at that time it was the first year that they had it at Lakeland. It's pretty typical at Oshkosh, but and I don't think they do it at Lakeland anymore. I don't think that it ever really blossomed, so to speak. But anyway, it was a lot of fun and whatnot. But I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm going to share my screen if at all possible. And it's probably going to run through a couple photographs before I get to the one I really want to show y'all. And it may open up some embarrassing photographs. So if you see a young picture of me, just ignore it. So, yeah, baby Oshkosh. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Mock, have you been? Have you been to Lakeland? To Sun and Fun? It's a fantastic show. It's always been fun. Um, if you've never been, I highly recommend it. You want to plan ahead, especially if you're going to stay in a hotel there. You'll want to book your hotel way out. All right, here we go. Finally figured it out. So sorry, but let's see. I'm going to share one of my screens with y'all, and I hope I don't embarrass myself here. Please tell me if this doesn't work. You should be seeing a screen now. let's stop right here. This is kind of cool. This was the, whoop, didn't stop. Unfortunately, yeah, that's a young picture of me. This is probably the seventh grade, something like that. But I ever flew. So this was the first airplane I flew as an actual pilot. Um, Airplane. It was like a little hot rod. Um, this was basically an AA-1B, but it had an STC or a supplemental. Basically means it was modified, legally modified. It had a 150 horsepower motor in it. So the one series had the 108 horsepower Lycoming. So this had the 150 horsepower, so more power. It also had a climb prop, so it would. When I say power on stalls were almost impossible, that's honestly the truth. This thing would just keep climbing. I remember climbing 12, 1,300 feet per minute on takeoff. You the nose down as soon as you come off the ground to keep it from just going to the clouds. Father bought for me, so he sold it and bought an AA-1A with 108 horsepower motor, which I think even he probably regretted later down the road because it was a fun airplane. This is actually a picture of whoop. Jill, I'm an amateur at this. This is a Bell 206 Jet Ranger that this is my oldest son Andrew and I. We have been taking some rides in this thing on that particular day. If I remember correctly, it was the first time Andrew had flown in a helo. This was the first Cessna 172 I ever flew. This was one more uniform. It was a pretty old plane. I think it was one of the first of the slant tails that was built, but it was a good airplane. It was very old school, very simplistic, very reliable. But I did my first Cessna 172 work at the airplane, and from what from what I understand, this airplane is still flying today. Um, and this picture was probably in 1990 or something like that. Um, if you look in the background, right there at that pickup truck, that is actually my father walking by. I didn't realize that until I enlarged these photographs. But all right, let me get to it. So this this is the airport I learned to fly at, or this is where I finished learning to fly at. I learned at two different airports. One was a private airport, which is where those previous pictures were taken. It was a very abnormal runway. Let's just put it that way. And so my dad feared that I could get hurt on it. And so we moved our airplane to this airplane. This is Victor Papa Charlie. This is a airport in Cartersville, Georgia, that is just northwest of Atlanta. It also is the home of Phoenix Air, which is the largest Learjet operator in the world. And I eventually for them. My first official aviation job was with Phoenix Air. Great company. So here's me in the AA-1B again. This was actually after the first time I had flown it. I was feeling like I was something else. But all right, let me keep going till we get. Here's the Grumman AA-1A that I actually learned to fly in. Oh, that's not a good photo. Yeah, we won't talk about that one. This is an air coupe. If you've never flown an air coupe, you really ought to. These are fun airplanes. They're built in the 40s by Avro or Avco. Some of them have rudder pedals, some of them don't. This particular one did not have rudder pedals, so the rudder is tied to the ailerons, and it has a handbrake. But both types of these, the early and the later air coupes, they're all great airplanes. A lot of fun. So, fortunately, I had friends that had two of the different kinds, so I got to fly both. And if I remember correctly, this one I think did have rudder pedals. Any guesses on this? Any guess? Anybody want to guess what this? This is obviously a picture of me, but so Mock, you never been to Sun and Fun. You should definitely go one year. I think you would really enjoy it. And if you have the opportunity to fly in there, it's even better. So there's something about flying into an air show. It's just a ton of fun, absolute ton of fun. Yeah, definitely, Mike. You should definitely go. I hope if as this channel grows, hopefully it grows. There's days where I don't think I'm getting really anywhere with this. I get very discouraged sometimes. I think I'm a little impatient. But as this channel grows, I hope to have a moment in the future where several of us can meet up at an air show. I think that'd be a just a load of fun. Well, this picture right here, believe it or not, is my first day at space camp in 1989. That's where I'm headed. Um, that was a fun day. All right, here we go. So this is at Sun and Fun in 1993, I believe it was. I was a junior in high school, and I'm in the front row, second from the left, looking all goofy like. Um, I got to go down there with the EAA Air Academy as really as a gift. A friend of mine, really a friend of my dad's, paid for me to go down there. Another incredible opportunity just because I was at the right place at the right time. And I'm very fortunate for that. And unfortunately, I've lost track of this friend, but I would love the opportunity to thank them for allowing me the opportunity to go down there with this group of guys and just and women. There's we had a couple women, I think, staff members, but this was incredible. We got to go down there for a week. We uh, we had dinner with the pilots from the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, and we helped build an airplane that flew on that later on that Friday. So seeing something fly that you helped build was incredible. And I wish I had a way. Again, this is before internet and cell phones, but I wonder a lot. I look at these pictures like this, and I wonder where these guys are today. And I certainly hope they're flying and they're doing something, uh, something great with their lives. So these were all some super great people. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, back to these airplanes. I've been listening about. We can come back to these embarrassing photos some other time. Back when it's not so embarrassing. So I learned about an airplane today called a Bristol B-23 Bravo 23. It's a single engine fixed gear Rotex 912 or 915 IS powered three bladed. I think it's a fixed pitch prop. Low wing, bubble canopy. Looks a lot like a slicked out Grumman that like I used to fly. And wow, it's just a sleek looking machine. It kind of reminds me of how I felt back when the Lancer 320, I think it was called, first came out. It was a kit plane. But anyway, the video was talking about how affordable flying is. And those of you who have flown on the private pilot level or just a student pilot level, it's hard to understand. It's hard to grasp the idea of affordable aviation. It was affordable for me because I didn't have to buy the airplane. It was affordable for me because I didn't have to pay for the maintenance on the plane. I didn't even have to pay for the fuel. And I didn't even have to pay for the flight instructor because I earned that by mowing grass. So I guess technically I did pay for it in a way, but it was giving a service, not money. But so I listened to this person about this airplane, and they were talking about the average person could fly it could own and operate the airplane. It was a great airplane. I love the airplane. Wow. And but then I don't know. Maybe I don't make as much money as other people out there, obviously. But I did the math. I got on their website, and I'm not talking bad about this company either. I think the airplane's worth the money? Absolutely. It's a beautiful airplane. Uh, but the airplane is marketed in a $300,000 range. That's a typically, nicely equipped, I guess you could say. It does have a ballistic parachute recovery system like the Cirrus SR-20 and SR-22, which is fantastic. But when you look at a $300,000 price tag for an airplane, you finance that over 20 years at 6.5% interest. You're looking at a monthly payment of nearly $1,500, and then you're looking at, okay, well, avgas near where I live runs around $6.50 a gallon, and then you look at annual inspections and stuff, a couple $1,000. Whoa. Stuff like that. And it makes you, or it made me, again, just my opinion, it made me scratch my head and say, that's not even possible for me. There's no way I could spend $1,500 plus maintenance and fuel cost a month to fly an airplane. So I went from being excited when I heard how affordable it was to being disappointed and realizing that it's something I still would never be able to afford to do. But I do know that will be more affordable than some airplanes, because it's easy to drop $500,000 on a single engine airplane. So 300,000 is it's 200,000 less than the typical like SR-22. I think is a $500,000 airplane. So I'm not complaining. It's just still not reachable for me. Yeah, CB, you're right, and that's. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of this particular aircraft. I think you'll agree. It's just a super sleek airplane, really nice looking. I think it's got the Garmin panel, not the G1000, but I think it's the G3X. Super sleek looking, very modernized. I would love to take a ride in one. I'm not going to waste their time by asking for a demo ride if I can't afford to buy it. But I was really impressed by this particular airplane, and this is the kind of airplane that someone like me would want to own. But and they even offered in a complete IFR package. So, I mean, that's fantastic. I wouldn't make use of that, but fixing to share this Bristol with you. And this is the exact airplane I was talking about. So what do y'all think of that? Is that just not a beautiful airplane or what? It does look a lot like the Grumman that I'm very passionate about, the one that I got to fly for many years. It looks like a sleeked out Grumman. It's even got the same type of nose gear set up, the swiveling nose gear. It's very exciting. Now, this is a airplane that's imported from the Czech Republic, and there's a couple of airplanes that have been coming from that I like them all. I'm trying to remember the names of them right off the top of my head, but unfortunately I can't. These aircraft are just impressive. I really like the look of this, and the panel is just as impressive. The performance is just as impressive. It's just a really nice airplane. But my hope in the future is that ways of flying. Um, I would really love to get back into flying like I used to. Um, Having an airplane sitting at the airport ready to go when you're ready to go, and that's just an ultimate. I didn't realize how good I had it to have that at my disposal. But I really hope at some point flying is um, not very expensive. Now, the cost is because of safety, and I get that, and I understand that. We certainly want to be safe when we're flying or anyone's flying these aircraft. But I hope that through technology, we will get to the point where buying an airplane is not much more different than buying a nice car. I think that would be fantastic. Yeah, you're right, CB. There is definitely some great European light sport aircraft hitting the market these days. I think if I was better at attending Oshkosh and Sun and Fun, I probably wouldn't be as shocked right now. But yeah, there's really some great aircraft that are, you know, and I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm very very excited about some of these aircraft. I'm glad to see that aircraft manufacturers are taking advantage of the light sport market because I think the majority of pilots, and I could be wrong, I could have the majority of pilots are probably people like me. They don't really have any place that they need to go. They just want to go. Um, I'm not interested in flying as a commercial pilot. I'm just interested in enjoying the experience and sharing that experience. That's what's in. You have to you have to be able to share the experience. I mean, um, if you can't take a passenger, I don't know. There's people out there that would love to fly by themselves. I've never been one who thinks flying by themselves is fun. You have to share that adventure with somebody. So, but I think the most pilots are people who are flying for fun. They might want one passenger with them, enough cargo or baggage to be able to do them for a weekend, and they just airport hop around and enjoy the time. And I think that's the majority of us. Now, I know Mark. I know you explained you want to fly for the airlines one day, and you're an exception to. And there are several of those like you out there that want they want to seek a career path in aviation, and that's fantastic because there's going to be a huge shortage of airline pilots predicted over the decade. So you're coming in at the right time, and you're already doing. So you are going to be you're going to be one of the people that make it happen. And I think as a aerospace educator, I think if I can see a young person like yourself achieve those goals, that's just that's the icing on the cake. And go from student to professional pilot. Wow. I mean, I think it'd be kind of like you talk to school teachers in it, and they say, what's the greatest thing you can see happen as a school teacher? Now, usually they say something like, well, to see one of my kids graduate high school, go on to college, graduate college, become whatever they dreamed of being, and me being able to witness that. And I feel the same way. If I can see and witness uh, a young person achieving their goal in life, I get just as excited probably as they do because it's such a long road and so much focus and even hard times sometimes to get to that point. And uh, I get really excited when I hear about young people learning to fly because I think 99% of the time this is the beginning of one of those stories. And I've seen people go from student pilot to career uh, aviator. I've seen them go from student pilot to fighter pilot in the military. uh, whatever your goal is. You don't have to be an airline pilot. You don't have to be flying F-16s around. Just whatever your goal is, just reach out there and grab it and never let go of it. If you want to, learn to fly and own a Cessna 172 one day for and just fly your family around. If that's your goal, to me, that's just as special as if you want to be a fighter pilot. You achieve your goal. Everyone's goals are different. What's important is that you achieve them. That's one day you're going to be, before you know it, you'll be soloing. Man, you talking about an experience. Um, my dad even used to talk about that. He never forgot that thrill of when that instructor stepped out of that airplane. And I think that's something you'll feel the same way. I think most people do. When you realize it's all up to you. There's no extra set of hands on or feet on the controls. You are going out there to do 3 takeoffs and landings to a full stop by yourself. And to me, I mean, what an accomplishment. Absolutely, what an accomplishment that is to go, and in some cases, only just a few hours. Uh, you only have to have 20 hours in the United States to get your private pilot's license. So, the solo, I have actually talked to people before that had told me they sold at like 10, 12 hours. Now, I had I had like 4 years of flying before I was probably in the hundreds of hours before. But it's a great it's a great accomplishment for anyone to get to that point. And then it's not over there. Then you're going and doing your check ride and doing your practical test, and maybe you want to go further like Mock does, and wants to become a commercial and instrument pilot, multi-engine rating, and then eventually end up with an airline and spend every day doing what you love. Very few people have an opportunity like that. Or let me rephrase that. We all have the opportunity. It's whether or not we actually go after that opportunity. And I think if you work doing something you truly love, you really never work. It's just a true great feeling to wake up in the morning and go do what you love. So a dream job, absolutely, CB. I think that would be, that's the pinnacle of achieving your life, is setting that goal and achieving it and doing what you love. You gotta really enjoy that. So, but anyway, well, folks, I'm gonna have to get off here in a minute. I'm glad I got a chance to reach out and talk to y'all a little bit. We'll do this more. I don't know what the problem was. I'm very disappointed in the fact that 4 attempts over the last 2 days did not work out. um, but whatever it was, I think has gotten straight or whatever. But sometimes technology beats me up, and I was getting really frustrated. My son came in here earlier. This is actually the 3rd attempt today, so there's been 5 attempts altogether. I tried 2 other times earlier today, one at 6:30, and then I shut that one down, and I tried again at 6:45, and then I think I started this one at like 20 after 7, but just couldn't get things to work. I was talking, and I'm looking at the same screen I'm looking at now. It said I was live, but I was getting nowhere. And thank you to my son Christian, who pulled his phone out. He's like, "Dad, no one sees you're out there because no one's getting anything." And notification bell triggered on his phone notification, so that made sense at that point. I was like, "Well, that's we're not getting anywhere. No one knows I'm sitting here talking." So anyway, I'm glad I got it figured out. Real quick, what's coming up shortly? I was hoping to get the new flight instruments video finished this weekend. I didn't feel good. I'm sorry. I didn't do a whole lot this weekend. I pretty much just laid around and rested. But by the end of this week, I hope to have that one out. videos are extremely time consuming to edit, and I have a really high um, a really high standard. I'm not just going to put a video out there that looks bad, sounds bad, and certainly not one that has false information. So even before I publish the video and it's done, I will watch it several times and share it with friends uh, to just get feedback. And it's worked. I've fixed some problems that I thought that were would have driven me crazy. Transitions, fades. I'm not a schooled uh, editor or videographer, so I'm learning a lot of stuff. But I want it to look professional. I want it to be fun to watch. I don't want it to be dry and whatnot. But I still think I've got a lot of work to go. But so hopefully that video will be out by the end of the week because I've already got like three others lined up. So I'm getting behind schedule. I really want to try to get a minimum of one full length video every 2 weeks. And with all the stuff that I post, I post a lot. And I think all of y'all that's watching right now do pay attention to the community page and the post that I do. But I post a lot of stuff there. There are educational things. I I really enjoy that because not only do I get to teach something, but I get to see the result of it. And you know, I I think the one about who was the first licensed pilot in the U.S. was it was kind of a gotcha. We even me when I was young, I thought Wilbur and Orville Wright were the first pilots, and they were the first to fly. But if you look at it, but they weren't pilots when they flew. Nobody was. But so yeah, Glenn Curtis was actually the first. Orville and Wilbur were number 4 and 5. I probably should have put that little tidbit of factual information in there, but yeah, they were actually 4 and 5. And then a little bit later, Harriet Quimby became the first woman pilot. I believe that was 1911, may have been 19. But seeing wrong answers on that does not upset me. When I see wrong answers, it tells me that people are learning, and I think that's really what energizes me to keep making videos and talking about things. And I try to share every day what historical events have happened in airspace. I know some of that's not all that interesting, um, but it's there in case you're bored and you want to read some stuff. I hope you do read some of it. There are some significant historical events. I know history's not for everybody, but that's there. The did you know stuff is it's just little fun little tidbits. I really enjoyed sharing about the F-117. I did not know most of that until maybe 10 years ago. Um, the F-117 shared a lot of parts from the other airplanes. F-15, F-16, F-18, the Gulfstream G3, A-10, C-130. Airplane incorporated a lot of parts to speed up and lower the cost of the development stage of that aircraft. And I think that's just amazing. The only thing that was truly original about the F-117 was the actual airframe. All the supporting systems were borrowed from other aircraft. So really cool stuff. Yeah, the post is I'm going to do. I will always do more posts than I will do videos, just to keep the mind going and interesting things that I can share and maybe teach small things. But the post will definitely keep going. The quizzes. You see me. You like the quizzes? Yeah, the quizzes are a lot of fun. Because it's a little bit of a challenge to people, and whatnot, and you know it's not about whether you're right or wrong. It's about no matter what you choose as the answer, did you learn from it? You're either going to learn that you're right or you're going to learn that you're wrong. And if you learn that you're wrong, you'll learn the right answer every time. Um, and I have the hardest part about doing the post is deciding what to post because my mind wants to explode with, and So you'll notice on some days I'll post 2 or 3 things because I can't make up my mind which one I want to post. But it's always a lot of fun to share that with you. After that, I've already started working on the lecture series. This is going to be for excuse me. This will only be for subscribers. So if you're a subscriber, which I know all of y'all are, at some point in the near future, we will have a scheduled day. So you'll know days and days ahead of time. And if you let me know that maybe if you're really interested in taking part, but maybe you're not available, since there's not that many of us, um, if you can let me know, uh, you can comment on the post and just say, hey, can we do it Friday instead of Thursday? Because whatever, you don't even have to tell me the reason. I'm willing to move it around as best I can so that everyone can take part. So the lecture series, the first one's going to be the creation of lift. It's not just going to be me talking. I'm going to be showing some examples. I'm going to be showing you a real life experiment that proves that differential pressure is dominant in the creation of lift. There might be some people that don't necessarily agree with that. Again, it is theory, but I think for the most part, um, it's Bernoulli's principle with a little bit of Newton's third law of motion. That's how I was taught, and that's how I continue to believe. So you could ask other people, and they may come up with a different theory for you. But the majority of us, I think, feel that way. That it's Bernoulli's principle, differential pressure, and the Newton's third law of motion. I have even shared that thought with some aerospace engineers, and they agree with me. So there are a few people out there that think it's completely backwards, where it's all about relative wind striking the lower surface of the wing, and pressure means nothing. I highly disagree with that. However, I am willing to debate it. So if there's someone that ever joins in with us and wants to debate that, I will certainly actually would appreciate that. I think we can all learn something from debates, respectful debates. Respectful. But anyway, so that's going to be next. We're going to be talking about why wings. First of all, we're going to be talking about the airfoil, how the airfoil influences lift, and we're going to be talking about the wing that is made up of airfoils, and we'll talk about the spars and longerons and stuff like that. The ribs and whatnot that make up the structure of the wing. But we're going to talk about the plan form, whether it's rectangular, swept forward, swept rearward, or just swept wings, elliptical or oval shaped wings. We'll talk about the purpose of those, the efficiency of those. We'll talk about the aspect ratio of the wing and how that changes the design, why it's important. Really, there's a lot of people don't understand aspect ratio and how critical it is. High aspect ratios are certainly more efficient, less drag, less induced drag, and you see them a lot on gliders. They're very narrow chords with long wingspans, and then you have planes that are, like the F-104 is a good example. Very short and fat kind of wing. Those are typically more maneuverable, so a little bit more drag, but certainly more maneuverable within their range of capability. So we'll look at stuff like that. We'll look at mean aerodynamic chord. We'll look at coefficients of lift, and then we'll break into the math and show how you can take a wing shape, a known wing shape, an airfoil like a NACA 2412 or something where we can actually get the airfoil data from, and we will look at the lift coefficient, and depending on how long the chord is and how wide the wingspan is, you'll be able to create, or not create, but you'll be able to perform the math involved in explaining how much lift that wing is capable of at a certain speed. And then you could also alter the speed and see what you got. So we'll probably compare it to an actual real wing. So maybe one on, say, the Grumman is pretty easy to calculate because it's a rectangular wing. So anyway, the. So CB, you're asking, is there a place where just everyday people meet up with a private pilot for a flying experience? Um, yes, there are. Most airports that have school do what they, correct me if I'm, with a discovery flight, you pay I think 30 minutes, and they take hand the controls over to you and let you fly. And then when you get back, most of them will present you with a certificate, and they'll also sign your logbook off. So you'll get your first 30 minutes of signed off legal flight training, and then it's up to you what you do from there. But yes, so that's just open to anybody of any age. Again, there is no age requirement or limitation on how old you have to be to start flying. I started at 11. I have heard of people starting earlier than me. There's some YouTube videos of some kids like 6 years old. There's one of a father who is teaching his daughter, who can't be more than 5 or 6, to fly his J3 Cub. So amazing, amazing work. I love seeing stuff like that. But yeah, you can do that. The EAA has a program called the Young Eagles, and I got to volunteer with them a while back. It's been many years ago, but the Young Eagles program is also it's mostly for well, it's entirely up for children, for kids to get their first flight, and I'm pretty sure it's free. So yeah, you can certainly do either one of those. Um, CB, I encourage you to do those. Any just about every small regional airport has a flight school these days. So find your local airport, stop in, find the FBO, which stands for Fixed Based Operator. This is the company that it's kind of like the has the primary presence at an airport. They sell the fuel, they sell the pilot supplies, the cup of coffee. Go in there and just ask if they offer a discovery flight. You probably look it up on the internet, and then you don't even have to make a drive. Most of them advertise that pretty heavy because it does bring business in. But I would certainly uh, look into doing that. I think discovery flights are fantastic, and if you can, and in most cases they will allow you can take someone with you because it don't cost any more to have another person in the back seat. In a Cessna 172, you can take. I highly recommend taking someone with you who can video it for you because there's nothing like a video of your first flight. It's something that I don't have. It was not a possibility back when I was 11 years old. Cameras back then were like suitcases. I don't have any videos of me flying. But, yeah, it's crazy. I've got tons of pictures, but no videos. I'm always either busy flying or if it's too early to have cameras. But anyway, I just dated myself like by a lot. But highly recommend doing that. If you want to send me a message, if you go to my description on my page, there's an email. It's aerospacefix@gmail.com. If you want to send me a message and just tell me uh, this is entirely up to you, but if you need help finding an airport that has that service, if you'll send me just the name of the city and state, uh, I can look it up for you. I'd be happy to look it up for you and find you some flight schools that would offer that, and hopefully get you a price and everything. I'm not really sure what they cost these days. I would, if I had to guess, I'd say about $100. But yeah, you bet, CB. Hopefully that'll help. But well, I think it's just me and one other now, so it's probably just me and you, CB. So everyone's going to bed or getting dinner time. So it's about dinner time for me. So I'm gonna get off here and go see the kids for a little bit before they go to bed and get some food. But enjoyed it. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you spending some time with me. Got a lot of stuff to do here. I really, I'm not interested at all in making money doing this. I'm really not. but I just want to advocate for general aviation, and that's my goal. My goal is to not make money off this. If it happens, that'd be great. I'll turn the money right back into the channel and do bigger and better things with it. But hopefully this grows to reach. I really want to reach the world with this, and hopefully teach people some things that will spark an interest. So for all of you all that have started with me from the beginning, Mock, CB, Brian, all of y'all, Mike inspired me. I can't say that enough. I would not be sitting right here talking to you now if it was not for DC Mike. He inspired me through his own channel to do something of my. I have a great deal of appreciation for all of you, and I will never forget that. So I get excited every time I see y'all's names pop up on the screen because I feel like I'm talking to a bunch of friends, and that means a lot. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So it'll be a day or two probably before I get back on here. I'm going to try to hit that video, but maybe try to do another live stream later in the week. If not, then certainly on the weekend. And hopefully this bug that I had will stay gone, and I won't have any technical difficulties next time. We could have done 3 live streams if it wasn't for some of the problems I've had. Anyway, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate you uh, more than you know. I appreciate your interest. I appreciate you're chasing your dream. And it's not too late for anybody. I really want to see Mike become a pilot. I really, I really, really do. I think he'd be a fantastic pilot. I think he's certainly capable, and I hope that he maybe is able to take take some time and tune into some of these lecture series that I want to do, and maybe it'll spark an interest. I know money's tight. There's always priorities, and sometimes priorities don't bring hobbies into play. But I would love to see Mike become a pilot. Brian, you too. There's always going to be a struggle in achieving something like that, but you can do it. You and Mike both can do it, and you as well, CB. Get out there, fly. Let's do it. Mock, you're on your way, and I'm so happy for you. I'm so thrilled to hear young people flying airplanes. Man, that really excites me. That's what keeps me going with this channel is knowing that something I may say or show or do or something will ignite that spark in someone's mind where they go find a way to fly an airplane. And y'all know my story. I mowed grass for years just to get a free flying lesson every Saturday. And was it easy? No, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Was it worth it? It sure was. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. So it's gonna be awesome. YouTube Squadron, yeah. maybe we should create us a squadron badge or something. I'm actually thinking of taking this. Wrong side. I've thought about taking this logo and making some patches, or I'm definitely going to get me a shirt made with a logo on the front. Uh, I don't know if anyone else would be interested in wearing a shirt that says the Aerospace Fix, but if you are, let me know. I may put a little bit more thought into it. I certainly want to get me a shirt because it'd give me just like an outfit for the channel. But if you're interested, I can certainly probably figure something out. You can make shirts just about anywhere these days. So I don't know how I'd sell them over the internet or nothing, but I can figure it out. If I can figure out how to put all this equipment, y'all can't see how much stuff I've got right here, but I've got this microphone here that is always hidden, and I've got 2 screens in front of me, uh, and all kinds of lighting and whatnot, which I've had to learn a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I'm still learning because this is not easy. certainly not easy. I have a whole nother level of respect for YouTube content creators. Now that I've done just a little bit, I realize how hard some people really work, and that's uh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So um, another idea I had too. Then I'm going to go. I promise you. I've also had. I keep pointing in the wrong direction. I've also had someone mention, not over the channel, but I had a friend mention about turning this logo into a challenge coin. I don't know if y'all are familiar with challenge coins. They're very popular in the military. It's given as a gift, so to speak, and um, they're usually like half dollar size, made out of metal. And some of them have full color, some of them don't. I've got one from the Civil Air Patrol, which is really near and dear to my heart. But if y'all be interested in a challenge coin, I might be able to figure that out too. I don't know. It's just something to carry around in your pocket, and typically has a word of inspiration on the back or a phrase of inspiration. But definitely the t-shirts. I gotta have a t-shirt. So anyway, well, thank y'all so much. I'm gonna get off here. I know y'all got lives to get to. Mock, it's probably not as late there as it is here. Brian is probably fighting to stay awake if he's still with us, because it is what it's 8:30, so it's pushing 2 a.m. in England. So anyway, CB, I'm not sure exactly where in Canada you're located, but something tells me you're probably further west of me. So you may be still seeing a little bit of sunlight, but it is completely dark where I'm at. But I appreciate y'all. I really do. I'll get that video done here soon, and I'll check back with y'all on a live stream in a few days, and we'll see what kind of madness we can square up. So if y'all have any questions, especially you, Mock, who is in flight training, if any of y'all, really, if any of y'all have any questions, write them down. Next time we get on live here again, shoot your questions to me. I'd love to help in any way I can. Some of this aerospace stuff can be kind of confusing. It's usually more complex than you think it is. Or excuse me, I had it backwards. It's usually not as complex as you think it is. The only time it's going to get really complex is when after I teach you theories of aerodynamics, and then I teach you theories of aerodynamics in a supersonic state. The laws kind of reverse, so it gets confusing. So transonic flight, even worse. When you're going from subsonic to supersonic speeds, the air does some weird things. So we'll have to play Chuck Yeager. Well, y'all have a great night. Thanks again for stopping in, and we'll talk to y'all again soon. So gears down, 3 green. We'll see y'all next time.